Fans are singing along with Price and Stott's walk-up music.
Dominguez kicks the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. And the ball game and the series are over. Home run for Kyle Schwarber.
A grand slam for Price
And
and
the Phillies
Stott.
have the National League Championship.
All righty, Chasers. Welcome back to the Quit Chasin Podcast. A little cheeky, a little irreverent, always unqualified. We're here to talk Phillies and a little bit of life because we watch 162 when you aren't able to. I'm Seamus McDogdags. That's Danny Gerb. Danny, say hi to the lasses and lads.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Hey Seamus, how you doing tonight? Good to see you again, my bud.
It's an absolute honor to be here. I know you like to have guests here on these epic episodes, whether it be the quarter table, round table, or this week's midweek review. But pleasure to be here. Pleasure. All right. If I keep doing that, people are going to hate it. So that was Seamus McDogdays.
The pleasure is on mine, Mr. McDogdays. I'm glad.
How you doing, Dan? I am
good,
too.
Good.
He needed to. We need a little levity after our interlude episode. So there we go.
Yeah, I'm glad he's back.
I am too. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about you? I mean, I've calmed down. We've all calmed down.
We've all calmed down. We'll get to why, but I'm fine. Life's life. As folks are listening to this, that I was just about to say.
Yeah,
folks are about to be listening to this on July 4th because our fans are the best fans in the world, our Chasers, and they listen on the day that it drops. So, what are you doing on July 4th, man? What's your big plans for America's birthday?
So here's the beauty of it all. Like, I really do feel, I hate to say this because it's so overused on the internet, but blessed, right? Yeah, I really do feel blessed and, very appreciative of the fact that I get to spend most of my 4th of July's, if not all, for the last 2.5 decades in celebrating the birth of America and the birthplace of America. And, yeah, it really hits home sometimes. I really enjoy that aspect of it. The Parkway, the Benjamin Franklin Parkway in the center of the city, they do a whole big Welcome America thing. It's pretty great. Kim and I are probably going down there tomorrow. So
nice. I love that.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Well, you were mentioning that, in 2 years, they're doing the big 250.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to come down for that. That sounds like it's going to be magical. And you said that's going to be the All-Star game and everything?
Yeah, big plans. I think it was, oh my goodness, one of the GMs on the way out. Oh, help me out, man. The guy right before the 2008 World Series. They mentioned him.
Not Ruben, the guy before Ruben.
Yeah, they mention him in Moneyball when they're trading Giambi.
Oh shit.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm thinking on the dudede's name.
You know what? It'll come to you in the shower.
Absolutely, and it's such a travesty too, because he's really like the mastermind that put that 08 team together. He's the one that went out and got Lidge, when they needed that closer, after that fall to the Mets so Lidge comes in that next season.
You're not going to get it. It's not going to come to you. Don't force it, damn it.
Yeah, I just there's so many past GMs running through my head from all the teams. All of them. Sorry. I am so sorry, everyone. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. But
we do. It's okay. But anyways,
that up because they set it up for years and years in advance. He set it up to have the All-Star game in Philadelphia for the 250 celebration. And genius. I'm trying to get tickets for it. All that kind of jazz.
Love it. With any luck, I mean, it's 2 years away. Let's see what we can grow Quit Chasing into. Maybe we can get ourselves a table outside or something fun for the folks.
I don't want to sound like Zach Campbell here. But I kind of want to get
shit. That's that home run douchebag.
Yeah, the YouTube bozo who's pushing 50 and running around pushing kids for home run balls. Yeah.
That nerd.
That dork. Absolutely. He is. I mean, kids love him.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe he gives them the balls from time to time.
No. They follow him on YouTube, and then you go to any minor league game, and Every kid under the age of 15 has got their black socks hiked up to their knees, running around just hawking balls all game long and thinking there's Zach Campbell going to be YouTube famous. I know I sound like a crotchety old man right now.
I love it, though. I do, because I'm right there with you when it comes to
that. Yeah. But that being said, not to sound like Zach Campbell, but I kind of want to like be that nerdy dude, that nerdy middle-aged man that brings a glove to the home run derby and gets center field tickets. Like,
I mean, all right, if you're going to go to the home run derby, you take that's completely different from the Zach attack. Like, that is entirely a different
Zach attack,
different situation from Hempel's revenge. Like, you're going for a home run derby. That's the whole purpose. So you have to take the glove. Why would you not? Why would you not?
The balls have a cool little home run derby logo on them. Like, it was awesome.
If you catch a golden ball, how amazing would that be?
So here's the thing. I think those golden balls, I think that is just the name of it.
No, I don't know. I think there have been years when the ball was in fact golden.
Okay. I don't know. I really don't either.
We're going to find out this year when we watch the All-Star game, because there's 3 Phillies starting, at least 3, Danny.
I was going to get to it. I had it up. Yeah, like what?
I didn't know where they just announced this before tonight's game, and right now it's in the 6th and we're recording. But Alec Boehm, Bryce Harper, and Trey McShiesty Turner in the All-Star game starting. It's amazing.
William, what's his name?
Contreras.
Contreras. Thank you.
Yeah.
Contreras. Thank you.
Edged out JT.
Well, yes. Yeah. So, but I wonder if that's part of the injury, because I had my sister over a couple of weeks ago and we were talking about it. Was right after JT went in for his surgeries. My sister was like, "Oh, so if I voted for him, it'd be a waste, right?" I was like,
"No, never."
But
it's never a waste.
There's probably people that thought that way, right?
I would have to think. I would imagine so. I'm sad Marshy didn't make it. I'm sad that Casty didn't make it. But do either of them actually deserve? I don't know. So, like, I think the 3 guys that we are sending as of right now absolutely deserve it. And I say as of right now because on Sunday we find out which pitchers and which reservists are going to the game. Maybe Stott makes his way there. Maybe. Who knows how many pitchers are we? We'll save that. We'll save that for midseason. But like, the over under on Phillies pitchers in the World Series has to be an impressive.
Right. You could make an argument for bringing the first 4 in the rotation and at least 2 out of the bullpen, right?
I would say, all right. So you could throw Nola in the first 4. You could also leave him out, just because. No,
I said you could make an argument. You could definitely make an argument for 3.
Yes, 100%. Yes. And then as far as the bullpen, there's another 2 or 3 that I could easily slot in without feeling like it was a homer pick at all.
Yeah. So here's the thing: Strom deserves it. Problem is those mid relievers typically don't get in, and he got dusted up these last 2 games.
He did. Like, his last 2 games have not been great.
Like,
Hoffman deserves it too. I would love Jeff Hoffman to go to an All-Star game just because of his story, just because of how he's gotten here. And then, of course, Jose, our big cuddly teddy bear.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really feeling for Strom. I think he totally deserved it. Listen, he's going to get dusted up a couple times this season. That happens. It's baseball. Yeah. They're pitchers. They're relievers. You know what I mean?
There's a reason Brad Lidge's 2008 season was so magical, because it's not easy to go an entire season without blowing a save.
Ed something.
Ed Hockley?
No, Ed
Wade.
I want to say it's Wade, but I don't think it's Wade. Is it Ed Wade? It's Ed Wade.
Is it Ed Wade? All right, yeah. Ed Wade, folks. Real time.
Whoa!
6 minutes.
Saying 6 minutes. Saying Lids again helped. But no, I feel for Strom. Listen, it's going to happen. It's baseball. That's baseball. Sure. Just like such bad timing for him to get dusted up, right?
It was rough. Yeah. But what are you going to do? And you know what? We've kind of danced around the subject. It's 10 minutes in. Let's talk about the week that was. So starting with the Miami series, as you know, because of the interlude episode 1, rather game 1, Miami 7, Philadelphia 4. Strom and Hoffman gave this game away after a terrible balls and strikes call leads to 4 runs when we should have been out of the inning. None of that mattered, though, because this was the game where both Schwarber and Harper went down and found themselves on the IL where they stand now. Game 2 of the series, Miami.
Sanchez, Jim.
Miami nothing, Philly 2. I have a mistype. That's what I have a mistype on my notes. That's where. But anyways, I want to say for the record, Danny, and I'm very adamant about this. Okay, anyone that suggested that Christopher Sanchez needs time in the bullpen needs to be publicly shunned. Okay, our guy got paid and is just pitching lights out. 9 innings, 3 hits, 9 Ks. Mom, Ks are strikeouts. And we needed that performance because being down JT, Schwarb, and Harbor had this offense lacking an identity.
Hey, Alex, you want to hear something?
Sure. Taiwan Walker versus Spencer Turnbull. And I counter that with Taiwan Walker versus Christopher Sanchez. I think Sanchez should move into the bullpen, into that long reliever role. That was me, guys. I had that take, and I regret it. I absolutely take it back, and I love being wrong about things like that. I couldn't be happier talking through my butt on that one because Christopher Sanchez, I love you, and I'm okay, and my bad. I'm sorry.
And if you listen to the interlude episode, that performance by you, Mr. Sanchez, is the one that talked me off the ledge. I don't condone Alex's previous statements, but yeah, that was great. And I think we just gave the listeners a teaser of what's to come this episode. We will be going back and listening to some of our old takes and talking. It is
time because if we're going to hold others accountable, we got to hold ourselves accountable too.
Absolutely.
Speaking of holding things accountable, let's get to game 3 of the Miami series. The Phillies lost a baseball game. Miami 3, Philly 2. Honestly, it wasn't too memorable. It was 1 of 162 as far as NOLA losses go. This one wasn't too bad. Like, it was a baseball game. That's all I got. Nothing of substance happened here.
Yeah, no, it really didn't. We're trotting out the lineup that we're trotting out. Listen, I think again, referencing the interlude episode, that's why we did it, to bridge these episodes. I think we kind of ended the episode saying, like, hey, these next 10 or so games, we can play 500. We're fine. And that's what they did in this series. So.
Absolutely, because in the last game, Miami 6, Philadelphia 7. Fellow Cancer and birthday boy Trey Turner took ownership of a void in offensive leadership. We clawed and fought our way back to make sure Ranger didn't take the loss, despite giving up 6 runs by the 5th inning. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And not to be outdone by himself, last night's game, Philadelphia 6, Chicago Cubs 4. Our new pitcher, the young and Mercado, got the win as Trey Turner smacked 2 home runs, and we stole the series opener. And folks, as we record this, it is the top of the 7th inning, and the Phillies are leading 3-2 over the Cubs in game 2 of this series. So that is the week that was and is. What are your thoughts, Danny? Where are you at?
My thoughts are, hey, man, let's see what this kid does, right?
Why not? We've got so here's where I'm at with it. Like, we're down a bunch of dudes, and we've won some, we've lost some, but it hasn't looked. We haven't looked completely feckless. We haven't looked completely, I know, right? Completely out of our element and completely lost. So we've got a big enough lead on our division, our next divisional opponent. I don't necessarily need or want the first round bye anyways. So let's just see what we get and live for it. Let's just enjoy some baseball until we get our guys back after the All-Star break and see what happens.
Our big boys are down.
Yep.
And we're still somehow 8.5 games up
over the Atlanta Braves, like the team that has owned the NL East for more often than I don't know what. Like it's insane that we have been able to keep this advantage over the Braves all season, especially like because, dude, doing prep for this episode and our mid-season roundup and everything, you and I went through and we listened to our entire catalog, which that's really the first time I've listened and like marathoned our episodes since we started this. And I am amazed at how much Atlanta Brave talk kind of took over those first 6 to 8 episodes. And then we haven't talked about them really since because they got injured. They were less relevant and we haven't seen them since opening week. So it's like, I don't know. It kind of sucks that the rivalry isn't what it could be because we're limping in, they're limping in, like whatever. But I don't know. It's just Braves, man. I kind of want this to heat up and it just doesn't feel it. But that was the week that was.
Yeah, I was going to actually just pose that question to you. Like after I said, hey, we're still 8.5 up from the Braves. Like, yeah, they're not the healthiest either. But, they won that World Series without Acuna Jr. So,
yeah, but they still had Spencer Strider, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's tough when you lose a Strider but which is crazy because he only plays every 5 days. Like Acuna's playing every day. So I don't know how you judge that, but like, and I do have like a little fanboy crush on Strider. So maybe I'm just being extra nice to him, but I don't know. It's not the same as it is in years past. And
we have been abundantly honest with ourselves and our listeners when we said if he was our guy, we would love him.
Dude,
all that quirky stuff that we hate about him, we would love him.
It's like when Harper slid in England. If he played for any other team, I'd hate him. But because he's our guy, I love him.
Yeah, Strider going down was bad for the sport. Bad for the rivalry, bad for the sport. Yeah, like the dude's a gamer, and we've given him his praise before. He gets it. He gets rivalries. He gets fan bases. He gets what it's about. He likes taking the heat from the Phillies fans. He also respects the Philly fans, and that's the exact type of dude you don't want out of the game.
Yeah, I agree. It'd be like Harper being out, honestly. Like that's the type of guy you want playing baseball. And when they're out, you lose some. It's like if Patrick Mahomes were to be down for the rest of America that only cares about football. It's if Patrick Mahomes were down for 8 weeks and then the entire sport suffers because of it. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, Danny. I think it's time for us to take a little break.
That was enough respecting Spencer Strider. We loathe that D-bag.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Well, he wears an A on his hat like Peter Fox from Foxtrot. I have no love for him.
All right. We'll be right back, everyone.
This upcoming 4th of July weekend, join us at the Quit Chasin Podcast for our midsummer, mid-season, all-star game extravaganza, Quit Chase-a-thon, summertime explosion blowout. Explode into summer and listen to our early bad takes.
Neither of us have any starting pitchers in the All-Star game.
I have Harper making the All-Star not as a first baseman, but as a DH.
Join us next week and every week at the Quit Chasin Podcast on Spotify, at Quit Chasin Pod on YouTube.
The Quit Chasin Podcast is a proud part of the Old City Sports Network. Hop on over to the Old City Sports Network and check out some of our favorite shows. Flyers Alley, 2nd and 15, Check the Net, and stay tuned because Pub and Grub is going to be bringing some fantastic content your way. And if live entertainment is what you're after, we're here to make that a little easier for you. With our sponsor SeatGeek, you can get $20 off on your first order when you use the promo code Old City Sports Network. Don't forget the E at the end of old. No matter who you are or when it is, it never hurts to look your best. If you have a beard in need of some love, make sure to check out Warlord Beard Essentials. And while you're there, use promo code OLDSPORTS in all caps and get 15% off, and then free shipping on all orders over $65. Lastly, Danny, I highly recommend you check out Righteous Felon Jerky Cartel. Hop on over to the Righteous Felon Jerky Cartel website and use promo code OCSN, all lowercase, and get 15% off of your order, plus free shipping on orders over $50. It's going to be a long season. Treat yourself and get a big old bundle of meat to snack on. You're worth it.
Hey.
That was fun. So, again, right. To the fans at home that are listening, as we're recording this, the Phillies are currently playing a game. So to those of you watching us, if you see me intensely watching the screen, it's because it's the bottom of the 7th and Strom is on the bump. So having said that, though, Danny, let's talk about our this is our mid-season episode, man. We are halfway through the season, coming up close on the All-Star break. Hey, Picky. And it's time for us to kind of break things down. So again, you and I listened to a bevy of our previous episodes and our previous content. We were looking for things that we said and did that made us super cringy, and plenty of that because I've met myself. But I'm thinking, here's where my head's at for structure of this episode. I didn't send you the agenda, my bad. But I'm thinking we go. Well, I did not. We go position grades first. Then we go down to the awards division, World Series, all that crap. And then we go into corrections and omissions.
All right. Sure. Sounds good.
All right.
You want to let's start with infield?
Yeah. Let's start with infield.
You want to hear where we were, or do you want to give our take now?
Let's hear where we were.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Infield, I'm giving them a B. I think they've been decent. They haven't been spectacular. They're certainly not an A, but they haven't been bad enough to be a C.
I would probably put them B plus B minus type.
All right.
Okay. I have moved my needle a bit. I am actually putting the infield at a B plus. I am settling on the B plus only because, Danny, I don't know if you've noticed this watching the games, but we've actually turned a couple of double plays.
Yeah,
that's something that we've added to our arsenal. I think Turner being out for a hot minute and like Sosa and Stott having that short to second connection has been great. But even Turner has kind of turned it around and has been playing much. Sorry, go ahead. So I'm going B plus. No, sorry, I'm watching the game. It was a 2-out single, 2-out double.
Oh, I thought that was your reaction to admitting your Turner stuff.
Oh, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong and admitting when someone has won me over, and Trey Turner has emphatically won me over. I was watching the game, 2-out double. What are you gonna do? Continue.
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. That's what I thought was going on. So yeah, I'm moving it up slightly. I said, in that B to B minus range, I will give it a solid B.
Love that. Any specific reason for the increase in grading?
Yeah, they've been man, do you remember whatever season it was? I guess the beginning of the 22 season. We brought in Schwarber, they brought in Nick, and the whole thing was like, yeah, that's great. Where's the defense? And great question, right? They're playing great defense. For that squad that is not a defensive-oriented team, they are playing fabulous defense right now.
I mean, you think about where we came from. And boom, 2022. I effing hate this place. He's Captain Error. Now he's not a Gold Glover by any stretch of the means, but like Baby Chutley's come along, and we now do have a potential Gold Glover at first base. So the infield pretty solid.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean,
tie game.
We love Reese, right? But and there's a learning curve with Harper, but he's an all-star. His first full season at first, he is the first base all-star. That is something. It's got a different look to it. It's funny that we're having this conversation 2 games removed from a 5-air game, but we're having it now. Whatever.
That was a weird, sloppy game. Did we end up winning that game? No, we won that game, didn't we?
No. Oh, yes, that was the comeback game.
That was the comeback game. Yeah, we had 5 defensive errors, and we won that game. By the way, it is now tied 3-3, and we just got him out of the inning. So awesome. Cody Bellinger has been absolutely murdering us this series in his own little way. Why don't we go get him? We need him. We could use him in the outfield. Why don't we go get Cody Bellinger? They don't need him on the Cubs. Let's go bring him home.
I was going to say, would that punch his baseball? Would that be every team in the league?
I think so. I really do. I mean, especially the big boys. You got the Cubs, the Dodgers, then the Phillies. That'd be the NL Slaughterhouse 5.
Doesn't matter where he is. He kills us. Let's do the outfield. Ready?
All right. Let's see what we did.
You hit play, and sometimes they don't play.
Go hit up the outfield next. Honestly, outfield, I'm going to go A minus. Danny,
yeah, I'm going a solid B.
There you go, short and sweet.
Okay, so I went C plus.
Yeah, so
I demoted the shit out of our outfield because you have Casty and then question mark, and Rojas hasn't been the Rojas he needed to be. Marsh hasn't been marshable. David Dahl is watching the Michelin Man play outfield. The guy he is the Tin Man without oil. Whit Merrifield, I don't want you. It's not good. There's no depth. It is not dependable at the plate. Like our outfield is trash.
Yeah, okay, I'm right there with you. I was
Cool.
dropping it down as well to a C to C minus. And you know what? Because listening back to everything, and I listened to that section a few times, and that was during our roundtable episode. So, our buddy and friend of the show, Steve, our buddy and friend of the show, Chris, also had takes and grades as well. I got the nuance or like the feeling that we weren't taking account their plate appearance. And at that time, they weren't running out 2 platoons. At that time, it was still young in the season. But yeah, I'm lowering them. I'm taking their plate appearances into account more than I think I did the first time we did this. And the fact that there's just some things like I listened to the longer clip of that. I say, I would like to see Marsh judge some of the balls up against the wall a little better. I'd still like to see that. But I would see him in center and then see him back in left, like keep the dude in left. He's phenomenal in left. He is
absolutely
good.
Yes.
He is good in center. He's phenomenal in left.
And like, I'll be honest with you, and I think I said this last week or one of the episodes last week. We did so many. Too. But center field, man, like I championed for Pache. I did. I championed hard, but there is something about Rojas out there. And Rojas isn't a great hitter, but Pache hasn't been either. And Rojas is a value add in defensively. So I don't know. They're sticking to C+, and I'm good with that. I have no problem with that.
Yep. All right. Where are we going next?
Starting pitchers.
Okay, this is a we got 3 and what ones do you want me to do? You want me to just blast all 3 of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's blast all 3. Well, it'd be 2, and then you'll hear where we're going. So we have this gem.
I think Nola's getting the Cy Young this year, baby.
Taiwan
and then
Walker
we have this
versus Spencer Turnbull. And I counter that with Taiwan Walker versus Christopher Sanchez. I think Sanchez should move into the bullpen, into that long reliever role.
Our third one, and we can get to it now or we can get to it later, involves All-Stars.
Did we not grade? Did you not grab the grade for the outfield?
I didn't grab the grade for that. No, I
don't remember for the starters.
No, I just did infield and outfield. Yeah.
That's fine. I don't remember what my grade was. I'm sure it was extremely complimentary.
It was.
Fuck. Oh, good. He dropped it. So for this round, starters, I'm giving an A. 1 through 4, I have absolute faith that they can win me a game if need be. 5 is a bit of a toss-up, but honestly, come September, October, I don't need a 5th, so whatever. No, 1 through 4, I'll take our 4 up against just about anyone. I mean, Tyler Glass now, sure, but like on any given day, Wheeler, Suarez, Ranger, Sanchez, I'm gonna trust you 1,000% to bring it. And like when you don't bring it, that's when I'm shocked and amazed. Nola's Nola, but it's fine. So I'm giving them an A. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are leading the league in ERA, so
they are, and for good reason.
Number 1 in the league, number 1 in our hearts.
Damn right. Shane Falco, number 16 in your programs, number 1 in your hearts.
Absolutely.
Relief pitchers. What grade you got, Dano?
We grabbed infield and outfield. That's all. We were keeping it with just bad takes.
Oh, so you didn't grade the relief pitchers for just?
We did. I didn't grab them.
Oh, that's fine. I know you didn't grab them. That's fine.
Oh,
so what are you grading now?
Yeah.
What's your grade now?
Oh, that's what we're doing. Sorry, I thought we were just going over the takes.
Not yet.
The relief, I think I forget where I had it, and I had it high. I still have it high. I still believe, with some of the dust ups and some of the ERAs from some of the guys that got a little out of hand. I still believe come down the stretch, come October, that this is going to be that number 1 projected bullpen that, MLB.com said they were going to be. I think they were going to be a force come September and October. But as of right now, there is some command issues with some guys. Some guys have a little higher ERA than I would like to see from some of the names that you don't want to see it from. So, I have them at I don't know, man. Bouncing in there between like a C plus B minus area, whatever you would call that. Yeah,
I can respect that. So, I there's two guys I don't trust. One is Diaz, who last night tried his absolute damnedest to give up the game. Oh, nice pass ball, and of course Greg Soto. Now, Greg Soto lately he has thrown 9 straight scoreless innings, so I appreciate that. I appreciate the hell out of that.
But look at those spots that he's coming in at.
Clean as hell, clean as a whistle, and low leverage. And if that's another thing I noticed a lot while listening to old episodes is how much I question Topper, and he's earned my trust. His decision making, while I don't necessarily always understand it, I'm not a major league manager for a reason. That should be the lead. Let's see. Did he tag up? He's tagging up. Hold up. That's the lead. 4-3, top of the 8th, 1 out. Anyways, Topper is our manager, and he's made enough correct choices about letting guys in and letting them work through it, or moving guys around, shuffling them. I'm good with it. So, and I think there are other bullpen available options instead of Diaz that, just kind of need to like, is Dylan Covey coming back at all this year? Is that
I don't know. I don't know.
Because Diaz is that Covey role, essentially. Like that's where you put that lawn jockey in is in the Diaz role. But no, they get a solid B. Like, I'll still take Alvarado, Hoffman, and Strahm, and even Kerkering if I need to execute their roles. Are they perfect? No, it's very hard to be perfect. That's why pitchers have ERAs and they're not always zeros. But for the most part, like, I trust them. I do.
Yeah. Good.
Let's go into award season then. All right. End of the year awards. NL MVP. Is it coming from the Phils?
I mean, it very much can be. So, Mr. Harper is probably the man you have on your mind, right?
It is and
NL player. Oh, and yeah, there could be an and, right? I hear you. NL player of the month for the month of June.
And
also
May.
NL player of the month for the month of May. That's so, I mean, yeah,
Nasty.
right. This is the same league that's rocking this guy named Shohei Ohtani in it right now. So
I bet he might have a good chance. I
think
bet
he's got a great chance.
What are the odds on that?
I don't know. I'm not that guy. I don't look that stuff up.
You should learn to translate.
What?
That's a betting joke.
Yeah,
see, when you did it to me, I didn't get it. Now I did it to you, and you didn't get it. So maybe the betting joke just doesn't work. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, it
was.
Wasn't.
I like throwback episodes.
I was just, I was on a flow, man.
You're in the zone. You've done that to me 100 times. I'm so happy I finally got you on one where you didn't pick up the bit. Outstanding.
Whatever.
No, I had Harper as my MVP. That's obvious. But Trey is making a very interesting case for himself. Trey, with the batting average, like, but here's the thing: he lost a lot of time. So there goes all of the
that's what I was getting at.
Stat casting of like, there goes the RBIs, there goes the home runs. But jeez Louise, this past week has been phenomenal. I'm trying not to take the Lord's name in vain because I know it'll make my mom upset. So geez Louise, it is.
That's what I was getting at. We'll see how fast Harper gets back, and then if he gets back up to speed. Because man, he went out when he was on a roll.
Sure
That's
did.
Awful.
He sure did. But so did Turner, and Turner came back right back on fire without a rehab stint.
Harper's one of those timing guys.
I know. And like Schwarber too. Like Schwarber's 250 and like almost 20 home runs. So I'm terrified for when they come back. But the Cy Young, it's not going to Nola. Let's get that right out.
Getting the Cy Young this year, baby.
Fuck you. Nola is not getting the Cy Young. Who do you think?
Nola's getting the Cy Young this year, baby.
Just loop it. Damn you, Looper. So all right. So the Phillies are going to have the Cy Young winner. All right. Can we say that confidently? Who's challenging?
Did you hear that? Barring anything, yeah.
All right,
barring
I'm not gonna
anything.
The Phillies have the Cy Young winner, but who's it going to be?
In Chicago leveled off, didn't he?
The one that we just got 3 runs on. The one that we just tagged for 3 runs. Yeah. He leveled off. He was doing amazing, and then he had 2 real bad performances. And
Rangers got dusted up for 2 now too. So
yeah, but his ERA is still sub. I mean, it's like it's sub 2.5.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just saying.
I hear you too. Rangers gotten dusted. It's so weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe
it's going to happen. It's
this,
baseball.
but like, since his family came up, kind of feels like he hasn't been doing great. So, I don't know. Something to watch. But anyways, I have Wheeler winning the Cy Young.
2 starts in June. I have Wheeler as well.
I have Wheeler as well. The committee.
Rangers a wonderful story.
But this is Wheeler's year, unless he gets tattooed like a mid 2000s band. He's not going to lose this award. Like, they've been dancing around giving it to him for half a decade now. It's his turn.
Absolutely.
I think Nola's getting the Cy Young this year, baby.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. So, Danny, who's winning the NL East? Let's go into the division winner. Who's winning the NL East?
Yeah. So, do you want here? Let's. Do you want to play the clip?
Let's do it.
This is brutal.
I have them winning less than 90 games, being second in the NL East, and losing 4 games in the NLDS to the Atlanta Braves.
I have them at 97 wins. I have them winning the division. I have them in the final game of the season beating the Baltimore Orioles.
So I've changed my thoughts.
Really? Do tell.
I have them at that 100, 101 mark, winning the East.
Sure.
Obviously. I still have them losing in the NLDS. I don't think it's to the Braves anymore.
Who do you think it's to?
Dodgers, maybe Brewers. I don't know. We're going to have to see how the teams line up. But I do have them losing in the NLDS again. Listen, I'll tell you something, man. London scared the crap out of me.
Oh, get out of here. Why did that scare? Okay, the time off?
The time off.
No, I mean, I challenged that. Number 1, JT was injured the whole time he was over there. Number 2, we just came back from that West Coast trip and then left. Number 3, we knew that it was the middle of the season and we were coming back to go away for 2 series. That was just not the right mindset. That was more of an anomaly than a trend. I don't accept that the London series was a harbinger of doom. I believe that was a one-off.
Okay, I'm glad. I listen, man. I would rather think like you than think like me. That being said, I still think that way.
Let's see what happens after the All-Star break.
So it's a couple
the
of
All-Star break scares me.
Sure. Okay. You know what?
Let's see what happens.
Right. Sure. Next test. Great point. Let's see. So I'll chill out on that. However, there's a couple things. I forget what game it was. We recorded the next day or maybe right after that game.
Was it recent?
Yes, it was the Anthony Sanfilippo hack.
Yeah.
What? It was the Giants. That Giants game.
Yeah.
Where it was, who was it? Schwarber, Turner. No, Schwarber. Who was batting second in that?
It was Schwarber, JT, and Harper, and it was hack.
Yeah. And so they've done that a few times now, where games on the line in the 9th, and everything that they have done all game long goes out the window. So that press, that chase in big situations that we were screaming and yelling about from episode 1 of this podcast since the end of the NLCS is still very much there, and it shows its head. It's been showing its head at bad times all season long.
But isn't that
baseball? On top of London? Yeah, it is baseball. But
no one's going to be perfect 162.
I hear you, but that press, they get away and they press when it's time to just make connection and pass the baton, and they don't. They're still pressing there, and that It's cause for alarm, man.
It is absolutely cause for alarm. I am not here to yuck your yum. But I think this team has shown me what they need to show me. I have them at and I don't know how ludicrous this number is, but I like it because I'm a fan of the TV show Lost. But I have them at 108 wins. Okay. Is that like a historical number at that point?
It's pretty big.
All right, I'm gonna stick with 108 wins. To all my losties out there, you get it. I have them winning the division. I have them winning the NLCS against the Brewers, and I still have them beating the Baltimore Orioles in the World Series.
All right. Well, I hope you're right, and I am horribly wrong, and then we get to pull this clip, so that'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be nice? Are there any other takes that we need to walk back or that we need to consider again? I think, Danny,
let's play some of the All-Star stuff.
Let's play some of the All-Star stuff.
I got two for you.
I have Harper making the All-Star not as a first baseman, but as a DH. I think one of them is coming out of the pen, and I think it's going to be the knighted one, Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Outstanding.
Yep. I said that, and here's another one.
Neither of us have any starting pitchers in the All-Star game from Philadelphia.
Yeah, so we addressed that already. There's a good chance it could be a lot of them. Huh.
There is.
Man, that was really wishful thinking on my part. I really wanted Sir Anthony to be like the 22? Yeah, thank you, Sir Anthony. No, it wasn't 22.
It was absolutely 2022.
Okay.
That was our first year in the postseason. He had the Game of Thrones walk-up music, all that good jazz. It was 22.
Yeah, I wanted him to be that again. It was wishful thinking. And I think this is what we all have been waiting for.
Danny, will you proclaim your love for Turner?
I said it last week. I'm not ready to concede, but he is warming on me.
Chasers, Alex, Mr. McDog Days. I would like to formally concede to all of you listening, to all of you in front of me, I'm on board with Trey Turner. Welcome to Philly, buddy.
Mark it in your calendars, folks. Danny Jeremiah Gurubich has officially declared his love for one Mr. Trayvon Leon Turner. I am so happy because I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong about something. I was staunchly against Trey Turner. I was adamantly anti-Trey Turner, even up until he got hurt. And I feel like the fact that we were at the game where Trey got hurt, I feel like the universe was telling you and me something. And the fact that he came back, and we were pretty dismissive of it. My big news was that Liam came back that game, but no, Trey came back. And like, he just picked up where he left off.
Yep.
You know what? All those assholes last year were telling us to look at the back of the card, and we should have, because the back of the card tells the answer. And he is a really good baseball player, and he's wearing a Phil's uniform for the next 2 presidential cycles.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's playing good baseball. He came back and picked up right where he left off. He is taking it the weight on his shoulders with some of the big guys being out right now. He knows his role. He's playing it. And then there's some other things too, man. Like, he's goofing around with the guys more than we saw last year.
He's getting watered down by the Wet Bandits, and like, honestly, his defense has improved as well. He's turning 2. I alluded to that earlier, but like, he's turning 2. Mom is like when he's able to start and create a double play. But he's
coming out for baseball.
Yes. But he's turning 2. He's doing really well. Like, Trey Turner is finally being that guy that we always wanted him to be.
Yeah, and like, you know, he's not quite the pencil neck stiff anymore.
Pencil neck. That's what we're going with. Okay.
Well, I'm trying, man.
All right.
So yeah, like I've turned the corner, and it was about time. And that one's for you, Steve.
I'm here for it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And honestly, folks, I think that's going to wrap up our mid-season review and preview, and that's going to lead us right into Amped Up. Now, Danny, earlier today, I gave you an Amped Up, and I'm not going to stick with it. I kind of alluded to it earlier. Instead, I have a different amped up because I got home from work. My boss let us go at 2:00, pre-holiday eve and all that. Came home, did some projects. Kara came home from being at her sister's house, and she said to me, like, hey, why don't we rip up the carpet in the dining room? And normally I'm kind of like,
Hey, why don't we not?
Well, actually, Dano, I've been kind of like looking. I've been looking at the carpet and like, all right, I need a project real soon, and I love restoring my hardwood floors. So I've already ripped up half of the carpet right now. I am amped up because I have a home project that I get to do this holiday weekend. There is nothing that brings me more joy. I got a 2:20 baseball game tomorrow. I've got sanding. I've got sealing. I've got so much stuff ahead of me. I've got no work until Monday. I'm super amped up to get some stuff done around the house that I've been putting off, and ripping up the carpet and restoring the hardwood floor is the best way to spend a holiday weekend. How about you? What's got you amped up?
Well, like my good friend Jimmy Haha once said, conquer the beauties of domestic duties. So my amped up, and I'm sure you heard about it, is the Eskin thing, but not because of the Eskin stuff.
My mom heard about it. So
Yeah.
to those of you that are unaware, Howard Eskin, longtime radio person of WIP, someone that both Danny and I have absolutely tried our best to rip to shreds for his sportscasting takes, this week was barred from Citizens Bank Park for the remainder of the year due to an incident in which he facilitated an unwanted advance on a concessions employee with an unwanted kiss. He was rebuffed, but an investigation ensued, and he has now been barred from the park. That is what we know. Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we know. And listen, unwanted advances are never cool. But that is not the part of the story that I would like to talk about. The part of the story that I would like to talk about is, and it took Eskin Gate 2024 for me to figure this out or find this out. But the Diamond Club has been renamed to the CB Ranking Roof Club, and I don't know, man. That bothers me. Listen, I will never have the scratch to get into the Diamond Club.
Sure.
I will never even have the scratch to get in a Hall of Fame club without, maybe, some sort of, buddy that has a ticket or something.
Sure.
That being said, this is a high-end club in your ballpark where, some money makers are spending some money and they're getting the luxuries of said money, right? We're now sponsoring that, and something as classy and high-end as the Diamond Club is now being called the CB Rankin Roof Club. Like, are you kidding me here? Like,
It may as well be the Waste
understand
Management
if you can
Club.
slap a name. Yeah, exactly. If you can slap a name on something and get money, sure, right? That's the joys of living in late-stage capitalism. However, like, if I had the scratch and the pompous, the pomp to enjoy the Diamond Club, I would be like, hey, can we get our classy name back? Right?
Or maybe get like a classy organization to be that sponsor. Like, if you're in Philadelphia, you're in the greater Delaware Valley, you can find an organization. You got Sioka, their headquarters is down there. You got Harsco, which is an environmentally friendly organization down there. Like, do you have to go with Rankin? Like, oh man, that smells Rankin. Like, come on. The Rankin Club, that's pretty. I get why that has you amped up.
When I'm sitting in which I will never do, but when I am sitting in my luxury suite, cracking my snow crab legs, watching the Phillies, I'm thinking Union Roofing.
Absolutely. There is nothing that gets me titillated more than a Union card.
I just think it's a little goofy. That's all, right?
I think that's fair. And that's a good amped up, Danny. And you know what? The fact that this is about the Eskin thing actually works me into my media stables perfectly. So if you'll give me a moment to kind of hop on to the dais, I am going to talk about Howard Eskin a little bit. Again, I alluded to it earlier that I have ripped the Eskin family consistently for their terrible shoddy sports journalism, their lack of professionalism, and the fact that I don't respect them at all. There are a bunch of sports pundits that I disagree with. Colin Cowherd, what up? But I at least respect them a little bit. Colin Cowherd, what up? But the Eskin family is
Come on,
not
anytime.
one of them. Having said that, I am not going to utilize this moment in time to take a cheap shot at Howard Eskin and to equivocate his personal proclivities versus his professional acumen, if that makes any sense. So I did kind of want to say, like, he's still a terrible sportscaster. I don't know much about him as a person. Kevin Kincaid from Crossing Broad has done a phenomenal job kind of reporting a lot of the Eskin fallout and all that stuff. One of the things he's pointing out is, like, we don't know if this was a lecherous act or an awkward and pathetic act of getting curved by someone. So I don't know. I don't know any details. I'm not going to pretend that I know any details. I'm not going to pretend that I'm ever going to know any details. So, talking about Howard Eskin, the sportscaster, that's what I'm going to do. Having said that, just a gentle reminder to any male in a position of power, in a position of management, or, when your nickname is the king or things like that, maybe don't make moves on individuals while they're working. Not a good look. Let's be better, and let's be an example. Like, come on. This story makes me very upset, and I don't love it. But that's really all I'm going to comment on it. So that's all I got for Media Stables.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and if you saw our social media post about our 999 challenge, and we'll talk about that later on in the episode on our way out. But, Alex and I promote responsibility, and if you're going to accountability, correct. And if you're going to give yourself the moniker of a king, stay classy, San Diego.
Love that. Danny, what do you got for your Media Stables?
Yeah, so, like, that's right.
I'm here for it. I'm so here for it, man. Let's have this conversation.
Ridiculous stats.
Go on.
That's like Michael Mercado is the first Philadelphia Philly in franchise history to start a game in Wrigley Field. ... since 2004. Like, no, they're not the first one in the franchise history to start a game in Wrigley Field. If you have to say since after it, and then tell me another guy who did it 20 years ago, which for baseball standards is very young. Like, it's not a stat. Earlier this season, the Paul Skeens debut, there was a Andrew McCutchen was the only player to start leadoff for the, who was it? Corbin Burns.
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole, thank you. Garrett Cole debut, and bats leadoff for the Paul Skeens debut. That's nothing. That is absolutely nothing. All that stat says was that McCutchen is a reliable leadoff hitter, and he's been in the league for a little bit. Like,
so
quit it with these nothing stats.
When you told me about this yesterday, I pointed out to you that the Kelsey brothers on their podcast, the High Hopes podcast, they refer to these as LeBron stats. So when you are explaining an extremely, extremely obscure feat, and hoping that it resonates in some kind of way, it's called a LeBron stat. So, Bryson Stott is the first Philly second baseman to get a base hit in every full moon since 1908. That tells me nothing. That is a random little soliloquy of the season, but that does not tell me anything of value about efficiency and effectiveness and all that. So I hear you. I hate them as well. I do.
It's cute. I've never heard the phrase LeBron stat, but maybe we should use it. And like, so the stat example that you used, I'm sure it's completely made up.
Totally.
Like, stuff like that can be fun. It can be interesting. But baseball on a whole, and it's not just the Philadelphia Phillies organization, it's baseball on a whole, has a real bad problem of doing the first person in history since. And that phrase just drives me up a wall.
Well, that's because baseball's been around forever, and they are achieving things now that it is difficult. It is difficult because there are so many differences between eras. Like the Babe Ruth era is very different from the Mike Trout era in that,
absolutely,
Babe Ruth, they could have their ground rule doubles were home runs, and it's just you can't really compare the same. They didn't have Negro League stats at that time, so like it's just what are we doing? What are we doing?
First one since.
God love it. Speaking of loving it, Danny, let's get to our love it or hate it. This is one that I think both of us feel very passionate about. So I'm gonna let you answer first, but love it or hate it, Danny. Bryce Harper being back in time for the All-Star game.
Absolutely love it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we all want to see him in a Phil's uniform. The way I look at it is this is an exhibition game. He can take a look at some pitching. He can take a little trot around the bases. He can stretch out that leg at first. You do all that stuff in an exhibition game. It's not, he doesn't have to go down to Lehigh, which he wouldn't do anyways. He can work on that timing because he's such a timing guy in a low leverage exhibition game. Hey, Skip, I'm done. I waved to the crowd. Phil's fans saw me on the field in my Phil's jersey. I saw a couple pitches. I'm done. Love it.
So the Jimmy Dugan, I get out of the ball, I tip my cap and call it a day.
That's good advice.
Okay, so I'm amazed that you love it because I fully anticipated that we were going to have the same exact take because I freaking hate it. I hate the idea of Bryce Harper wasting his physical health on a massively meaningless exhibition game because he is Bryce Camera-Well Harper. Okay. If he's going to get a chance to flip over into a camera well during the 2024 All-Star game, damn well he is going to. I do not want the golden child to get any unnecessary dings or dents or anything like that. I need him to bring home a trophy, be the prince that was promised, make this happen, get us our damned parade, and then you can do all the stupid shit you want in an All-Star game. But no, you need to get a ring that actually matters on that finger before you start coming back and forcing yourself for All-Star games. That's me. That's my crotchety old grumpy man take. But I hate it. I love that we have a different opinion. That's fantastic. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, sure do. I mean, it's going to happen.
I think Nola's getting the Cy Young this year.
I hate you so much. Fantastic. For all of those that are following along at home, it is the bottom of the ninth inning, and Jose Alvarado is currently pitching for the Phils. There are fire trucks going by my house, which in Steelton means someone is on fire right now. But that is it for us this week, folks. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at our Gmail account, quitchasinpodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at Quit Chasin Pod. And find a way to interact with us. We have the 999 Challenge coming up July 20th during the Philadelphia Phillies at Pittsburgh Pirates series. Danny and I will be consuming 9 hot dogs, 9 beers within 9 innings. We're going to have some special guests on, and we want you to follow along with us. Come in, check us out. We're going to be live. But folks, as we have alluded to earlier, are all about responsibility. So do not drink yourself into regurgitation. Okay. Be responsible. This is autonomy. This is all just a gentleman's or a gentlewoman's thing. Like, have fun with it. We don't want anyone to get sick. Enjoy yourself and hang out with us on that day.
Yeah, absolutely. However you feel you want to do it, it could be with shots of water and veggie dogs. We don't care. Just, join us, have fun, be responsible, stay safe.
I love it. Yeah. Danny, do we have a band tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna be ending the show tonight with Woy, Charlie. The song is Charlie by the band Woy. It's a fun little electro pop, electro dance, little drum and bass type stuff, you can check out their Bandcamp. It's WOY.
I was going to ask, was it Loy? Was it Roy? Was it Woy? But Woy. All right.
Yep. Woy, WOY. Check out their Bandcamp at bandcamp.com. Hey, we'll do better next week, I promise. And everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant.